All right. So ultimately, the some very strange stuff is happening lately, and I want to say that at least one of you will be living in Arkham right now. The other one could very well whether be visiting or could also be living in Arkham. That is really up to you how you want to handle it. But Arlian, for the last 2 days, in your house, you've been hearing very, very strange noises at night coming from somewhere else in the vicinity. You don't necessarily know where because you never uh, went looking for it, but that's been happening so far.
Okay.
Now, the first couple nights, the noises were more so of chanting. um, Also, there was some music here and there, very strange music, something that you've never heard before. The noises always seem to happen like very, very late at night. And until last night. Last night, the noises were a little bit different. Last night, there was a noise where they seemed to be like something that you never heard before, for starters. This noise was more so kind of like a bolt of lightning of sorts, but it's very, very strange for you to describe. It sounded like almost if a vortex sucked on something, and and on top of that, you hear screaming. A woman was screaming for her life. And that's about it. That's about as much as you got so far.
Okay. Okay. It sounds like it's coming from the house. Just to confirm.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I said it sounds like it's coming from the house.
Yeah. Well, no. It sounds like it's coming from somewhere nearby, but you don't know exactly when, or where. I mean, that happened last
Okay.
night. You were sleeping. You heard some stuff, but for some kind of reason, you decided not to look onto it. Now we can go ahead and say also that your character and Redwell's character, they can very well know each other and be acquaintances to where, depending later on what you find, maybe you can ask him to see if he knows anything about anything.
Where does this take place?
This is taking place in Arkham, near his house. He will be
Where is
leaving to.
Arkham in the scope of things? Where is Arkham?
So, Arkham is in Massachusetts, right next to Boston. I want to say they are about, I don't know, 2 hours, 2 hours and a half distance north.
Okay, so we have to figure out a reason why my character would be there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Ultimately, depending on what he wants to do and what he finds out, he can always decide to give you a phone call.
Okay, because just and then this is just part of the thing. My character lives in England, so you'd have to
Right,
call me
yeah.
up and all that good stuff.
You're in the.
Okay, all
Hold on,
right.
hold
Sorry
on.
for interrupting.
Let me see something real quick. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Haha. Oh, there. Okay. Right. So you're in England, but you could be very well visiting, or, or maybe, if you guys want, you were already traveling to explore some parts of the United States, and maybe since you're friends with Erlian's character, maybe Erlian offered you to spend a couple of nights at his place while you crash there and explore the area until you move on to whatever else you're going.
If there's a museum
Yeah.
nearby, he might go there. He might have something to do there.
Yeah, there is definitely the Arkham Museum. So yes, very much so.
Okay, so that's possible.
Yep, there's a museum there. There's also the university, big time university over there that does have a lot of museums, a lot of things. So definitely a lot of reasons for you to be there if you wanted to be there. That is. So, all right. So, Arlene, since you're right now dealing with this situation where you've heard all these things, is there anything in particular that you want to do?
It's happening during the night.
Yes.
Okay? He's going to get up. Alex, my character, is going to get up, go to my closet, pull out the chainsaw, and step outside to see if there is if he can try to see what's happening. Yes, 1920s had chainsaws. They were big, they were loud, and they
Okay.
smelled like shit.
Okay. You do remember that whatever was going on happened in the middle of the night. Not necessarily midnight, but let's say, for example, at any point between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. Probably around midnight, you started hearing the same music and singing that you always hear, so you just didn't pay it attention and whatever, and you just kept sleeping. And then overnight, you would have heard all that stuff, which very well you could have just think that it was a dream and continue sleeping through it. But then when you wake up in the morning, you're just wondering. Because you could have sworn that you've heard that last night. But at the same time, you have that feeling, wasn't I dreaming about it?
You said that there was actual screaming. I'm guessing I would have reacted, or at least woken up. I mean, I can just roll D2 and see if I woke up or not. That sounds okay?
Well, let's say that you did wake up, but you didn't fully wake up. You were kind of like sleepy. And then you just decided to keep sleeping. For whatever reason, you were too tired to do anything.
It would make sense.
So therefore, because you woke up, but you were a little groggy, then we're gonna go ahead and say that that you wasn't really sure as to if it did happen or not? Do you remember that you woke up, that you thought you heard something, but now you're not sure?
Sounds sounds good to me.
All right, so what do you want to do?
Um, he's gonna very slowly and groggily really wake up, head down, head to the kitchen, put it on the coffee. I just need to check. Red, is your character staying with with Alex or not?
Probably not. He's probably staying nearby, but you know he's in town, so we probably met up at some point. I had a drink or a meal or something.
Okay, he's going to go to the phone and he's gonna call at 6 a.m.
Oh my god, okay.
Holy cow.
That's how you're doing.
6 a.m.
He had enough time to take a shower, have breakfast.
Who are you talking about? Who gives him at 6?
6 a.m. They waking up at 5.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, that's real life. That's not this. Yeah, that's real life for me. But yeah. Okay, so you hear a groggy voice. Who is it?
What's your character's name? William?
William, yeah, but you call him Bill.
Hey, Bill! Good morning! How are you holding up?
Huh.
Which I don't know what your character's name is.
Alex.
Alex?
Plain
Do you
and
realize
simple.
Do you realize the time?
I mean, it's kind of late. It's 6 in the morning. It should be, it's late.
Um, the museum doesn't even open until 9.
I know, but
Well, what's going on? Is everything okay?
I don't know. Everything's fine. Just got woken up early today. Somebody was screaming, being like crazy last night. So I think maybe I need to check if some of my toys started working randomly again. Well, either way, it, it's 5 in the morning. I woke up at 5. It's a normal time to wake up. You can do so much in those 2 to 3 hours before anything opens.
They usually got me till late at the museum. It's we gotta get our beauty sleep, dude. Is there anything? A scream you said that. I mean, do you have a lady friend over? I mean, what's happening?
No, but he's gonna go to look through the back window of his house and look at the pen that looks like a stampede, like stampede of burning rhinoceroses went through it. Sometimes some of my inventions go a bit crazy, or I forgot to shut them down.
Okay, so is there something you need from me? Like,
Oh
I
no,
got.
no, I just wanted to make sure you had a nice sleep. They're feeling okay.
Okay, well, uh, I'm gonna go back to bed now for a couple hours. Talk to you later.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Arlene, go ahead and roll intelligence. Thank you. All
Ah,
right. So, Arlen, you just get a breakthrough. You know, you are not sure about what you heard last night, and for all you know, it may be just your brain playing tricks on you, or it may very well be the fact that you are in denial, or the fact that you're too scared to figure it out. So, therefore, you just go ahead. Your character just goes ahead and in a moment of courage asks his character, "Hey, you know, just a random question for you, you know, something like that." And then you say, "Well, this has been happening for the last few nights. You know, I haven't really paid much attention to anything. But last night, it was a little weird." And then at that point, you explain to him that you were sleeping and that as you were sleeping, you could have sworn you woke up by some screams and a very loud, strange noise that it sound almost like if a black hole opened up over there, and but you just don't know what could be or whatever, and because breaking and entering is a crime, you know, you might not necessarily want to do that on your own. So maybe you just ask him for some input or help, see if he's willing to do that with you.
oh yes. By the way, are you up for a little breaking and entry? You know, just a little crime, potential crime to for good morning exercise.
No. What's the problem? I mean, what is going on? You notice you start to get more awake because now you're like not making much sense.
I mean, okay, for Thursday night I had about a, a lot of screaming coming from near my place, like a lot, like someone is being reduced to malt, a lot of
Call the
screaming.
cops or something? What do you want me to do? If you're that worried about it, call the police.
I did, but um, something happened previously, and they're not too thrilled when I call them. Or
Well,
when
well,
anybody calls them
I'm
about
not.
me.
Yeah, but I'm not breaking into someone's house, dude. It's just not gonna happen. So unless the police aren't gonna help you, I guess it's nothing, none of your business. I don't know.
I mean, I guess you're right. I'll go take a look. I'm not going to enter, I promise. I'm not going to blow anything up.
I don't believe
I'll,
you.
I'm
I
leaving
know
my
you do.
chainsaws at home.
All right, I'm gonna, dude. Just wait. Just wait. I'm gonna get dressed. I'm gonna come down there, and we'll work this out. I'm not. Yeah. You just sit tight and you wait till I get there. Okay? You promise me.
Uh, yeah, sure, sure.
Okay. No, no. Say yes. You will.
Uh,
Say it.
yes, yes, yes.
Say it. All
I
right.
promise I'll stay in the way.
Okay. I'll be right there. Click.
In the meantime, I'm going to start trying to keep making a smaller chainsaw.
All right.
One day, I hope to create a chainsaw cannon.
So
Oh God.
we're gonna skip time, and then all of a sudden he arrives. All right. So you arrive. What do you want to do now?
So William's going to try to sit him down, have him make them coffee. He's gonna, so setting up the mood for a conversation. So maybe get him whatever to not to think about something other than breaking into someone's house, which is never a good idea.
What?
When you arrive, he would be at his
You make it
workshop.
sound like that's illegal.
You can smell and hear weird things coming from there.
You make it sound like that's illegal.
I mean, some would say that it is.
Oh, okay. So
My,
you're not at home. You're at a workshop of some
my
sort.
workshop is essentially right next to, to my home. So, yeah,
So do you live in an apartment or a house?
house, but it's a miniature house, essentially.
Or are you a miniature person?
No, it is not. When I say
Okay, so then
miniature house, I mean he got himself a house and then decided with a sack. And then he decided to live in a sack and turn the house into his workshop.
okay, so it is a house with a kitchen and yes, say
Yes,
it. Okay, so
yes, it's
then
a house.
okay, so we are sitting down presently. I made some coffee using your own coffee in your coffee pot, and we're talking about what you witnessed. What's happening here is you need to import to my character that you are terrified about something, and right now that's not coming through very well.
Okay, I think you misunderstand. This is Alex talking to Bill. Okay, I think you're misunderstanding something. I'm definitely not terrified. I'm just really, really curious and a little worried because things tend to, and he's talking, he just started adding more and more sugar into his coffee until he got something that's essentially a sugar flavored coffee flavored sugar.
So Williams puts his hand over your cup, and try to hold the spoon there. He goes, "Okay, so you've heard some screaming. It could be a woman. It may not be illegal. What's happening? It could be kind of frisky and all that. But
No,
breaking
no,
in or
wrong type of screaming. Wrong type of screaming for that. My neighbors next door can be a bit loud when they do it, but this isn't that type of screaming. Not that type of screaming.
okay. So how do you know? I mean, how long do you know these neighbors?
The ones I know have been here since before I moved in.
Okay,
Since
are they a
before I was
couple? Do they have a family? Do they have kids? I mean, throw me some deets.
the one I know that are not making noise from last night.
Well,
Or
truth be
because
told,
I'm not sure from where the screaming is coming.
truth be told, you would know your neighbors, but you're just not necessarily sure as to where the the sound came from.
That's
So
why I
therefore, you
said
just don't know exactly what neighbor it is.
that's why I said I don't know where it's really from where it's really coming from.
And now I'm looking
But
a little
I
bit more
mean,
cultist.
Okay, so
and I mean you can always stay until tonight.
how far
It,
away do you think the scream was? I mean, could have been the house over this way, house over that way, the house behind you. I mean,
You would assume, um, Arlen, you can make a safe assumption that it has to have been either of the houses that are right next to your house.
Okay, this is simple. We go and we knock on the door and we just do a safety check. Let's just do a social check. Make sure everybody's okay. That's not illegal. It's just that's like being neighborly.
I agree.
Keeper, how many of my neighbors would I have traumatized the with some more insane things than I did?
I'll do the talking.
I
You
think it really
provide.
depends. You know, I think when you're somebody's neighbor, not necessarily just you, but when you're somebody's neighbor, you may not necessarily always be everybody's biggest fan. And there may not necessarily your biggest fan. You know, you're bound to have some people that are not super excited about you, and some of them they may be. So it's really the luck of the draw that you may have a neighbor that may think good about you, or have a neighbor that just can't stand you.
Okay, let's go and ask. I don't know how they will react, to be honest.
Let's just we can just knock on the door and kind of look maybe look through a window or if no one answers, just do everything we can besides breaking into someone's home to do a check, see if there's someone hurt. That's it. I don't know what else to say.
I suppose you're right. And he's gonna going to eat his coffee. So, how are we doing this?
Well, we're both dressed. We walk over and knock on the door. It's as simple as that.
All right, so
Okay.
go ahead and roll a 1d2, and let's figure out which house you go first, if to the left or to the right. And let's go from there.
I'll let Arlene do that.
One. All right, the house on the left. All right. And if you want to roll some luck and see if that neighbor is actually a neighbor that likes you or not, you can.
Just a second.
All right, well,
Oh,
we
they
all
say.
know what kind of neighbor that is. All right. So you go to the neighbor's house, you knock on the door. A, a lady opens the door, an older lady. She's probably in her high 70s. She sees you and she's like, "Oh, it is you. Uh, what do you need?"
You,
Um, Miss, my name is William Davenport, and my friend here has heard some screaming nearby for the last couple of nights. Do you recall anything like that happening or hearing anything
Well,
like this?
truth be told, I am a little bit shocked at his concern about screaming, considering that for the last couple of nights we keep hearing over and over him playing with some sort of chainsaw, God knows doing what. And then, on top of that, when it's not the chainsaw, it's something else. But it seems like he always has some sort of experiment going on there that keeps everybody awake. So, no, I have not heard anything other than some sort of chainsaw going on.
All right. Well, it was very nice talking to you. I think I'm
Actually,
Dave.
Now that you mention it, I think I did hear some the last few nights, but it was very, very faint. I mean, I actually thought that he probably hurt himself working in some godforsaken experiment or something. But no, other than that, I did not hear anything.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Sorry to bother. We will have a good day.
Oh, thank you very much. You too. And I hope you learn to pick your friends better.
Brutal. Savage.
She closed the door.
I mean, ah, he was in a mood, but in a good mood today.
The next house, we'll go across the other way.
All right. So you get to the next house. When you knock on the door, you notice that the door actually opens up a little bit. You knock on the door, and the door is like just a tiny bit.
Okay, so he's gonna gonna pull it back till it shuts and knock on it.
And it sounds hollow because the door is open, but nobody seems to be there.
Are the cars in the driveway or the vehicles or whatever?
Yeah, there's a car in the driveway.
All right, so I'll tell him. Let's see, Alex, you go around that way. Look through all the windows, and I'll go
Turn the light
around
off and go to
these
sleep.
back. Peace.
Yes.
Don't enter the house. Just don't. Not yet. Okay?
I mean, I didn't bring my chainsaw.
No. We don't break the law unless someone's life's in danger. We're not there, so.
Okay, I got it.
So we'll move around the house, knock on the windows, try to peer through the windows, see if anybody's in
All right, so
Let's take a look.
you open the door. And when you open the door,
there. No, we're not opening the door.
oh, you're not opening the door. Okay, well, even if you're not opening the door, the door did open up just a tiny tad. When the door opened up just a tiny tad, you got a. Actually, do me a favor. Roll. Let me see what I can have you roll. Hold on. Let me see the exact name of that stat. I guess Constitution. Yeah, Constitution. It'll be the same thing as rolling Dexterity, so.
How do you roll that?
So on the top of your sheet, right next to Strength in sight. All right. So you feel the strange scent of burned, almost as if something got burned. But at the same time, it's a very different type of smell because, granted, that you definitely smell some sort of burned smell, but it's almost like it also has some sulfur to it.
Right. So as Alex kind of steps away to go around the house, I go, Alex. Call him back,
Yeah. What's happening?
and I'll take a handkerchief out of my coat and set it over my mouth, and then use it on the handle of the door instead of you touching with my hands to open the door more, but stay back outside.
Okay.
Do we see anything?
Mm,
All right. So when you look, everything seems to be covered in what it seems to be like. If you're still outside of the house, everything just seems to be covered by some sort of dust. The dust looks incredible, mainly because it almost makes it look as if that property has been inhabited for a good, I don't know, 20 years, 20, 30 years, like that much dust. And that is also on the floor. So if you look in your roll spot hidden, all right, you can
yes,
also
definitely.
notice that that is not really dust. It's actually ash.
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 Like ash from a human body,
Like
basically.
ash from anything that burns.
What about like the what room is the front? Is it just like a entryway?
Um, yeah, that is an entryway. When you look
So
inside, you see a a den of sorts that is also, it also happens to be a living room. There's a couple couches, a big radio. There seems to be a set of stairs that go up.
are
Seems to
those
be.
things burned too?
I'm sorry.
Are the things in the house burned?
Well, nothing gives you the indication that things are burnt, other than the smell and the ash.
Is the ash in a specific shape, like a person?
No, the ash is just covering everything.
Okay. Um, I want to slowly enter deeper into the room, into the house,
Now wait a
trying
second.
to see
I'm gonna
slash
I'm gonna pull
find.
you. I'm gonna pull him back. It's
Oh,
like
what?
you can't walk into a house if there's if this person or if there's some person that this ad belongs to, you're gonna step right in it. And I can promise you one thing: the police don't care about who do most of these crimes, but they're looking for someone to blame it on. Do you want that to happen to you?
Well,
They wouldn't do that.
yeah, they're all
They
nice.
wouldn't.
They're all nice.
I think we need to call. There's a possibility that a murder's been committed at this home. We probably should call the police.
They're all nice. They're all friendly.
Yeah, we should probably should, but don't you think we need to have something that
And
you know
what are you
something that
going? And what are you going to tell them when they get here that you just decided to walk into someone's house? Why would you do that? And we don't see anybody in danger. We just see this ash on the floor.
so what would be your idea?
Idea is, like I said, we call the cops and tell them that we think possibly someone was burned to death. This is ash, but I don't know what it's from. But I'm sure so I'm not going to walk into someone else's house unless we're gonna unless someone else is dying and we can help them. Right now, all I see is an empty house with ash.
Wow.
Uh, Keeper,
Yeah.
I'm going to without entering into the house, I want to kneel down and run my fingers through the ashes that are practically next to the door.
Mhm.
How are those ashes? Are they sticky? Are they dry? Do they clump up? Essentially, is it oily, volcanic, or just normal ash?
Just normal ash. You don't necessarily see anything burnt either.
I know that's a worrying thing. There's a crap ton of ash all over the place, weird smell, and nothing to explain it.
William calls out louder inside the house.
Oh,
Hey, is everybody okay in there?
nobody answers. Go ahead and roll. Listen. Yeah, no, nothing.
I mean, Alex, what do you want to do? I mean, what's your goal here?
And there was there has been a lot of screaming since
Well,
few for a few nights now.
you don't owe these people anything. You don't know what's going on. All you have is an empty house with ash on the floor. I mean, the screaming is troubling, but I called to somebody. There's obviously nobody home. I mean, what is it that you would like to do? We can go around in the back and check, see if we can see something.
I mean, there was several nights worth of screaming. The doors were open, so and when we came to knock to check, and when the doors were open a bit more, we can clearly see the entire house is covered in ashes, or at least as far as we can see.
We're not police officers.
So,
We're not beholden to these people at all. I mean, I know it sounds callous, but we're not. We really aren't. We are not skilled enough. I don't have any skills to, or any reasoning that we would violate this person's house at this point. I just,
and,
unless you see something I don't, I don't see it.
and you're not even curious about what
I'm
might
extremely,
have happened.
I'm extremely curious about why this ash is on the floor, but it doesn't change the fact that I am a law-abiding citizen, and the law-abiding citizens just don't walk into someone's house because they're curious.
I mean, technically you can do it because you're worried, and technically we are worried about what might have happened. After all, sulfur is highly toxic, damaging, and it damages lungs. So
Let's
if
go
there is somebody
around the back.
inside
Go around the back and see if the door's open.
and
If the
they
door's open,
inhaled sulfur for some reason, they could potentially be in life-threatening danger.
there's a lot of potentials, a lot of babies in there. Do you want to risk prosecution of a crime for that?
They cannot blame us for trying to make sure that everybody is alive and alive.
So,
right?
That's one of the.
all right. So let's see. So when you look inside, as I was saying today, you see this living room area, which is a den. It's covered in ash. You see these stairs that go up. There's a back door that it has some windows to it. It kind of looks like there's a kitchen on the other side. There seemed to be a door to the left also on that hallway. But there's not enough room for the house to have an extra room over there, so that has to be whether a closet or it is a basement. And then after that, there's also, well, whatever could be upstairs, which you can imagine that most likely might be bedrooms.
If it if there's a lot of phosphorus now, and phosphorus is extremely toxic and will burn your lungs even if you're only inhaling minute amount. Um, why don't you go take a look upstairs? I'm going to look at the basement.
There, you want us to split up in a strange house where we could pass out from toxic fumes. Is that what you're telling me?
The faster we the faster we finish, the faster we can get out of there, out of here. And if there's anyone, and if we see anyone passed out on the floor, it's much faster to to find them. Then we could book it in two different directions. Is it wise? No.
No, we're gonna go together. Let's go upstairs first, because that's where most people would be.
All right, acceptable. Let's go take a look at the upper floor. How many rooms are there?
Okay, so you're going to go upstairs? Is that what I understood?
Yep, like two fools. Yes, we're gonna go upstairs.
Very well. All right. So first of all, go ahead and roll spot hidden.
I'm going to get used to this character. He's
All right. So on your way upstairs, you notice there's a stack of books on a coffee table that is on the living room area. Would you like to look at them?
Yeah, yes, I'd like to take a look at them. Mostly a,
So
cur-
as he
a cursory glance.
yeah, it's like don't touch those books. We're here to help people if they need help, not here to freaking take their stuff.
Don't worry, I'm not taking anything. On cursory glance, is there anything interesting in that pile?
All right. So the the let's see. Go ahead and roll a 1d3.
I got two.
Okay, two. And let me guess, my. Oh, okay. Well, I have them down here. Good. All right, then I don't care. Two. Okay. So the first book seems to be a book of nature, creatures of the savannah. The other book seems to be a very, very strange book. Um, Give me just a second. Okay, right here. That's the one. And that's the other one. Of course, they're covered in ash, so you will have to like clean the ash. But that's what you find casually on the living room.
Okay. You can, you can, you can ask him if you can borrow the books later. If they're still alive.
Is there a would I don't know what skill would elude us to making
So,
books
if you want to know how long it will take you to read these books, I need.
well, we're not looking to read them. The titles themselves would allude to a memory of some sort, possibly.
Okay.
The books
Well,
are just weird.
Is any of
How would
you
you look?
wanting to keep the books, or are you just
Yeah.
gonna leave them back down there?
We're going to leave them. I mean, if
Okay.
he tries to take them, I'll know. We're not deep. They're taking them.
Okay.
Yeah, we're here to check if these people are still alive. If they're alive, I can always ask them to borrow books later. Or at least that Alex's train of thought at the moment.
All right. So,
Oh, anybody upstairs?
say that again.
They said anybody upstairs?
Oh, okay. So, go ahead and roll listen again. Nice.
7 of the time.
You do hear some noises from upstairs. It's almost as if some screeching, almost as if something's walking. Or somebody could be walking.
And of course, I don't hear this. Alice does.
Nope.
There's somebody
We-
upstairs.
So we're not upstairs yet? We're still.
No, you're still downstairs.
So these books were in like a shelf somewhere?
No, they were on the coffee table in front of the couch.
Oh, okay. Light reading.
Well, she might be. She might have been reading them. I would have assumed so.
Being of somebody who spent time in the library, just occurred, but this would have been before we heard something. Do those books both look like they've been read?
Well, yeah, they look like they've been read. There's
Okay.
there's
That
just
was
this
small.
uncanny amount of ash everywhere, covering everything.
Okay, so and then we hear the thud or whatever from upstairs.
Correct.
There is somebody upstairs.
Except I don't hear him, and Alex did.
Yes.
Still? I think there's somebody upstairs.
Hello, is somebody up? Does somebody need help up there? He yells, actually, really loudly.
Nothing. No answer.
You're sure you heard something? Yes.
Come on,
So,
let's go.
hold on. One question. Since you were talking about the books just now, are you guys doing anything different with the books, or just nothing?
No, I was just curious because it's see I can't use player knowledge, so no. All I was doing was a simple curiosity of a procurer of old relics as I am, and an explorer. I would have just
Well, let me tell you
cursory
that
look at.
definitely, as a procurer of all relics and an explorer, those are definitely not books that you see every day and that you will find every day. So, as much as you will maybe not necessarily know what they're about just by the titles, but the books themselves, they look very different than your typical book, for one. And
Well,
I'm talking
absolutely.
about from the point of view that they could be made out of leather, as some sort of animal or something, have strange markings on them and things like that. So, in maybe even if you will grab the book and maybe not read it, but just glance at it, you will possibly identify certain words, keywords, that they could very well sway you to read them.
I mean, does it look ancient
Oh
or
yeah,
old?
very much.
All right. Well, he's just going to file that information away for later. Again, what Alex said earlier, possibly if these people are alive, ask them to borrow the book for a minute, or to study them or whatever, and explain who I am and whatnot. So, other than that, I'm more concerned about the possibility that there may be people harmed in this house. So we leave the books alone, and he calls out, and you say there's no one responds. I look at Alex. You want to go up, take a look, or what?
If there is somebody upstairs and they need help, and if they've been inhaling this vapor for any long period of time, they might need it.
Let's go. I'm after you.
Let's go upstairs.
All right. So
Hope,
you go
hopefully we
upstairs,
won't end up dead.
and as you go upstairs, you notice how. Well, who's going first and who's going last?
Yeah, I said I basically said Alex to go ahead. I'll
I'm going
follow
first.
behind.
Okay. So, Red Wolf, your character notices how he leaves footprints on the stairs as he walks, and that is how noticeable those that ash is. There's at least about a half an inch worth of ash on everything.
That's very unusual. I mean, and nothing. The ash basically they just covered the entire house with it and it didn't burn. But there's a smell of uh, sulfur. So could have been some sort of spontaneous combustion of a human being.
What of?
Don't think so. I mean, if ever that happens, there will be court. So for now, we can only
We can only continue what we were originally planning on doing. It's just to
yeah,
make
we
sure
can
that
only go and check.
yes.
All right. So
Yeah.
you go up. Go ahead and roll listen again.
am dead.
All right. No, not necessarily.
I-
All right. So
right
you make
now
it
I couldn't
upstairs.
hear a nuclear bomb.
You make it upstairs. As you make it upstairs, something happens. You just grab your head. Go ahead and roll your power real quick. See if I can play it off that way.
Oh my god.
Okay. Well.
His head explodes, and I get his viscera all over my face.
No, this is gonna get much better. All right, Alex.
Oh, okay.
Alex, you get upstairs. When you get upstairs, you hear this creaking of a door. And you see a door open. The shadow of a door opening, and then there seems to be a light coming from that door. And you can see only the light on the floor because the door is right next to you. Finally, a shadow appears. When the shadow appears and starts moving out, you look, and yet you are not able to see anything at all. Eventually, in front of you, a little dot appears, a little black dot appears just out of nowhere and on nowhere. Not on the wall, not on anything, just floating in front of you. The dot continues getting better, bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually, as it gets bigger, this gigantic creature comes out. It's a dimensional shambler.
What?
A dimensional shambler.
Yeah, I think as a player, I've heard of this.
He goes ahead and doesn't necessarily do any spells at you, but let me see. Well, what just happened? Am I on the right game on this side? Should be.
I don't think you are.
What just happened? Well, you two can be on both games at the same time. Well, I guess you are. You two are on both games at the same time. Wait a minute a second. I'm gonna pull it up with the other one.
I left the other game.
Just a moment. That's it. I'll pull it up again. I'll pull it up again. There we go. I am so happy that this was able to copy my game completely. Alright. Well, but what did I roll today, by the way? Oh, and I can't really see now. Crap. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, okay, so, yeah, he had a...
So, ultimately, the dimensional shambler tries to grab you. But you see it coming, and it misses when it tries to grab you. Unfortunately, you lose your balance, and you just start falling down the stairs. William, you are behind Alex on the stairs. As you just start feeling him that he's falling, go ahead and roll dexterity, please. Very well. So now, as you're rolling dexterity, you're able to catch your footing, so you're not going down. The question is, are you going to want to try catching him and potentially falling, or are you just going to let him go through and fall?
Well, since I don't know what's happening necessarily, I'm gonna probably rush down the stairs. Uh, like if I see him falling or whatever, I'm gonna like fall, uh, shamble down with him. I guess.
All
I
right.
don't know if I'm gonna, I, you know, being a person who's not necessarily, my size is 90. I'm pretty big, but I'm not used to this type of stuff, so I wouldn't know what to do other than try to uh, get down the stairs as fast as he's falling.
All right. So you let him fall. Alex, go ahead and roll your luck. Please don't fumble it.
It would be embarrassing if I were to.
All right. So at least you're not gonna die. You roll down the stairs, and unfortunately, you didn't land unscathed. So go ahead and roll a 1d7, please. Three. All right. So you take 3 points of damage, and when you get to the bottom of the stairs, you see that William's still up there on the stairs, looking down, kind of a little confused. So what do you guys do? Oh, by the way, one more thing. I'm sorry. Alex, go ahead and roll sanity. Okay.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll a 1d3, please. Okay. All right. So you guys go ahead and play it off now. Whatever you guys want to do.
So, as I mentioned, I'm gonna end up down the stairs to help him up. Basically, is what I'm doing because unless I've seen or heard something that would elude me to be more wary, which I don't know. I'm thinking he just somehow fell, as far as I'm concerned. You're not giving me any input.
I think the gases are a bit stronger than expected. I think I look at the hallucination.
What? What?
I think that either the sulfuric gases have accumulated upstairs, originate from upstairs, or originate from upstairs, and that I have had a hallucination due to inhaling it.
Okay, well then we need to get the fuck out of here.
Yes, that would be a prudent decision.
So I will help Alex up, and then we'll make our way towards the door.
And to call the police.
On what? What are you gonna tell them? You broke into the house because you just saw some ash in there. Then you went upstairs.
We're not gonna tell them we broke it. We're gonna tell them we found a house. We heard screaming. We show up and there's ash everywhere.
How are you going to justify the footprints and everything in the house?
That's the thing. It's just.
Well, technically, we don't need to introduce ourselves.
This is true. This is the 1920s, so we're gonna make an anonymous tip.
And it's not like in 1920s they had a way to track who called. So
What we can do though is get the ash off our shoes and clothes, and not track that into away from this house into your house.
I mean, there is that, yes. Yeah, but I suppose I won't be making anything today, or for the next couple of days. Too much risk of contamination.
So that's what happens, GM. We rush off to Ash, and then we head back to his house, make an anonymous call that there's something weird happening at that address. We've heard screams,
Okay.
and you know, it looks like there's some sort of ash all over the place. We saw it from the outside. Yada yada.
Okay. So give me just a minute. So before you do all that, go ahead and roll your power.
Okay, so where are we when I do this?
The power roll, it's right before
Yeah.
you leave the house.
Okay, so we're like near the door, is what you're saying.
Possibly still on the stairs. Whenever you decide to leave, that you want to leave. Alex, go ahead and roll your power.
I'm good.
Okay. So, Alex, you start leaving the house, and Red Wolf, you're able to leave the house too. But as you're leaving, you're seeing this thing. You're seeing this thing. You're seeing this shadow up there, upstairs. A shadow that is being cast over the stairs, almost as if somebody is standing on the side. No need of, no need for sanity roll or anything because you don't see anything specific. But you could swear you're seeing someone up there.
Hello? Is anyone there? Who is that?
No answer.
Hello? Is anyone there? Are you hurt? Is anyone there?
Nobody answers.
Yeah, I'm leaving. Yeah, that's freaking me out. I'm leaving. I don't even. Yeah, I'm not. I didn't want to come in the first place. I'm sure as hell not gonna go up there where something weird's happening, and I don't know. The weird smell. We could be hallucinating. Who knows?
All right. So you guys leave, call the cops, and all that. Cops. You hear the cops come. They go inside of the house. What do you guys do? Do you guys want to go look? Do you guys want to just chill inside of the house? What's the plan here?
We're gonna wait. We're gonna we'll wait to kind of circumvent, in a very circumvent way. We're not gonna we're gonna look out a window or something and watch the police check out the house.
Okay, so you're gonna go check to see what they're doing.
Yeah, but we don't want them to see us, basically.
Okay, so how are you gonna hide for them not to see you?
Well, if you got
Advice?
curtains,
Sit at the table next to the window and enjoy morning coffee and the
Okay.
second breakfast.
I see.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so you guys sit over there and you watch the whole thing. The police go in. Go ahead and roll a 1d10, please.
Which one of us?
Either of you.
go ahead.
Your turn. I was the one who doomed us previously.
Five. All right, so 5 police officers go in, and the other 5 stay outside. By the car, just making sure that nobody goes inside of the house, whatever. Go ahead and roll listen. Okay. So all of a sudden, you look at the police officers and you see that they are a little bit distressed. They all run in, all the five police officers that were still by the car. They run in.
Holy shit.
Go ahead and roll listen again.
What the bloody hell is happening outside?
Yeah, it's not our best ability.
Okay, I'm going to sacrifice 13 points of luck.
All right, so you just hear screams, a very faint scream, painful screams. Eventually, the screams go away, and time just goes by. 10, 20, 30 minutes, and nobody comes out.
So they went inside, there was a lot of screaming, they ran out.
But nobody ran out. They all ran in, right?
Right.
And no one's come out.
Yep. Nobody comes out.
And that's gonna, yeah, this is serious. I look at Alex and I'm like, dude, we need to get as far away from this place as we can. I don't know what's going on in there, but we don't want any part of it.
Are you sure? And he already went up and started packing his bags.
I mean, we're not police officers. These guys are trained to deal with situations that possibly there's violence or danger. You and I, you want to go walk in there with what? Our wits?
I mean, technically, they've only been inside for what? 20 minutes?
You heard screams. Police officers screaming. That sounds really bad.
I mean, it doesn't sound bad, it is bad, but if we're talking about a potential weapon, it looks like a gun, several potential guns.
I have a gun too, but
one,
we're not
gun
police officers. Yeah, but we don't know what's going on.
Either of you, if either of you rolls intelligence, you can probably come up with the idea that you may not necessarily have to worry about the legality of going into the house now, considering that you heard somebody potentially getting hurt, and therefore you can go in and try to save them. So
we can, or we can give middle finger to Darwin, to potential Darwin's reward, and get the fuck out of there. I mean, it's an option. Wait, when was the first Darwin's reward given?
Well, here's the thing: you don't owe the people anything. I'm talking. This is William talking to Al. You don't owe these people anything. They're just neighbors. You don't owe the cops anything. We don't know what's going on in there. You fell on the stairs. I don't know why you fell on the stairs, but then I felt some kind of weird something in the shadows up there.
You probably have to hallucinating as well.
It's very possible. Maybe those cops are hallucinating, but I'm not going back in there. If those cops are in there, and I'm thinking maybe you and I need to step away and go someplace else for a while, and then come back later.
I mean, I think I should go for a short vacation.
Why don't you come over to the museum? I'll show you the stuff that we're doing over there, and then we'll go out for lunch or something in a little while.
Good idea.
Go ahead and
I
roll
mean,
power again.
the cop be down there by now. By then.
Who rolls power?
Yep, both of you. All right. So, with your power roll, um, you know that the police officer went in there, and one of the police officers eventually comes out. The police officer is walking slowly to the car.
Okay.
Okay,
This is
I'm
good.
gonna want we this is an opportunity. So we head out the front door and Paulo call out. William call out to him. Hey, is everything okay, officer?
The police officer looks at you with a blank stare and says, "Everything is fine. Actually, gentlemen, I am very, very glad to see you and that you are some concerned citizens. Because, in the name of the United States and Arkham, Connecticut, I am deputizing you." He deputizes both of you. Please make sure to help me locate the rest of my team. You're hereby uh, requested by the power of that I hold of this police department and this city to do anything and everything in your power to locate the rest of the police department and uh, stop whatever's going on.
William looks at Alex and looks back at the police officer and respectfully, I decline.
Uh, well, unfortunately, I'm not giving you that choice, he says.
Well, then you can take it up at the consulate because I am not a U.S. citizen. I'm a citizen of England.
Okay, but you are not, he says. Yeah, I heard you talk and you have an American accent. So, you have been deputized. Come with me, let's go inside.
Yeah. I have diagnosed ADHD. I am legally not capable of that type of activity.
He says, okay, well, don't worry. I'll look for both of us. You just watch my back.
How many officers are in there right now?
9.
So you're telling me that you
You
came.
are-
What did you see in there? That you came out.
I haven't seen anything. I went in, and then all of a sudden, as I walked in, I went upstairs. And once I got upstairs, the house disappeared. Everything was weird. It's almost like I was standing in the middle of outer space. I'm not sure exactly what happened.
Well,
Then eventually, I found myself just standing in the living room. So I decided to get out, see if I could find anyone out here, as I didn't see anyone inside.
So, a biological weapon?
What?
I said poison gases or drugs in the form of vapor, sulfur based.
I don't know, but you're gonna help me solve this mystery right now. The three of us will. If your friend has some guts and wants to be thanked by the city, possibly with a monetary prize, and also, depending on how bad things are, anything up to the key of the city, we need to go find exactly what's going on and be the heroes that we can be.
What? What's your
Nope.
rank, officer? I mean, you're just a beat cop. You
As
can't
of
make those
right
type of
now,
statements.
I am on duty captain.
Okay. Just letting you know, I give Alex a sideline look. Like I don't believe this guy at all. Something weird is going on with him.
Yeah, no. We're. I. Do you remember when our parents told us not to go with weird people?
He
Not to go
says,
with strangers?
all right, well, it's time to go in and make ourselves busy. Let's go.
I whisper, "Let's run."
And he starts walking, and he turns around and makes sure, Alex, that you are walking.
No. Yeah,
Okay.
let's run. Let's just run the other
You
way.
can signal. Give me a second. The moment the cop enters, because Alex is walking behind he closes the doors and turns around.
Then suddenly, he walks inside. Go ahead and roll your power, both of you.
Why? I'm not going near the house. I'm staying
Well,
over here by the pool.
you're standing outside, but you're still gonna go ahead and roll your power.
I'm not entering in the house.
All right.
I literally just reach
So-
there, close the door.
So you do that. You go back to your house and you close the door. Right? So once you go into your house, you close the door. You continue walking. You go into the bathroom. You go into the bedroom. It doesn't matter which room you go. You open the door, and suddenly you enter that room, whichever the room is, whichever whether it is the bathroom, whether it is the bedroom, whether it is the kitchen, doesn't matter. You start doing what you're supposed to be doing in that particular room, whether it's the bathroom, the kitchen, the bedroom, whatever. I don't care.
The
You
storeroom
finish
is my
doing what you're
weapon.
doing. Open the door to get out. And when you get out, you notice that you just opened the door, one of you, a door from the basement, and you're coming out inside of the house. And the other one just came out of the kitchen and is inside of the house, and the cop is in front of you at your neighbor's house.
Whoa, whoa.
What in the...
That is some crazy shit right there.
He's like, all right, finally, you guys are here. I think my my bodies are upstairs. I need you to watch my back. I'm gonna go in first. You guys stay behind me, and let me know if you hear anything.
Goes down towards his bag, opens it, pulls out the weird contraption, and it starts buzzing.
My character draws his pistol that he carried.
You don't have to pull out the weapon. He's just weird. Okay, so
So,
screaming.
all right. So you guys start going upstairs with the cop. The cop goes first. Go ahead and roll listen. Very well. Alex, you hear some gunshot going. And William, you hear the rest of the police officers screaming, "Hey, take cover! He's coming! Yeah, shoot! Oh my God, what is that thing? Shoot it, kill it! Go, go, go!" And the police officer in front of you says, "I think I hear them. Do you hear them?"
Hell yeah, they're in there. They're right over there.
That sounds like a war.
And he says, "Well, it is time for me to go in there. You guys, follow me. Stand behind me. We're gonna get those guys, whoever's doing this, and we're gonna be leaving right after with everybody. I'm gonna make sure to tell them that you guys were key elements for this mission. I'm going to make sure you get monetarily rewarded and also honorably rewarded." So he opens the door.
Look towards Will. We're going to die, aren't we?
He opens the door. When he opens the door, there is a bedroom. Nobody's there, but the gunshots, noises, and everything just keep happening. So he walks in to investigate. Do you walk in to investigate? I need an answer.
Oh, weirdo. We're going inside?
Right, do you walk in to investigate?
Do we see the cop once he goes in, or does he disappear?
No, you do see him. He's just standing over there in the bedroom. He pulls his gun.
We'll wait. Yeah, we'll wait. There's no reason for us to go in there.
He pulls his gun and starts shooting. But when you look, you see only the wall. You do continue hearing the cops shouting, and more than just him shooting. However, at the same time, you are not sure who else is shooting because you don't see anything else.
Yeah, but we got pulled from space and time back to this point from where we were in two different places. So my character's thinking there's no way, if we try to escape, we'll just get pulled back here somehow.
Well,
He just walks. He walks in. I mean, he just walks in. There's nothing else he could do.
the cop
Currently, we really don't.
the cop turns around and looks at you and says, "Come on, come in, start shooting. I know you got a gun. Start shooting. We almost got him down." And you look inside and you see again just a bed, a room. The cop is shooting, but the bullets just seem to continue going through the wall. There's not even holes on the wall. Nothing happens to it. That's kind of weird.
Let me test something. He's gonna rate his weird invention, we definitely done, and pull the trigger towards the wall. I don't know what's gonna happen, if anything. Do I roll something?
Roll whatever you want.
Jesus, what's happening? I don't even know.
All right. So two things
That
happen.
is why.
Alex just started shooting with his Tesla gun. I don't know who, possibly the
It's
wall.
actually lightning.
Yeah, possibly the wall, whatever. But then, at the same time, whatever enemy was there, which is a dimensional shambler, cast a spell that affects every single person that is in there. All of a sudden, the house, the room, and everything there just starts looking like an ultra dimension grid. It opens, the walls just fall down like a book. If you look up and you see the outer space, pretty much, you see planets, you see everything. That and everything just seems to be going at a relatively high speed. You see how the police officer next to you, his body starts bending in different ways and become almost like a string and eventually being pulled God knows where and sent to another place. And as you guys continue going, you see something on the firmament. You see something at the end. You see this planet, this thing that it looks very much like Earth. Could it be Earth? God, you're just going too fast to be able to tell. And eventually you drop down. And as you drop down, you are inside of a building. What do you do?
So, is the cop with us?
I'm sorry?
I said, is the policeman
No.
with us?
He's not.
Oh, that's easy, right? Okay. We're in a building in a room, I presume. How does the room look like? Deeper?
What?
What's the appearance of the room we're currently
The room
in?
is a very dark room. After a couple of minutes of looking, you can clearly see that you start seeing a little better. The room seems to be a bedroom. Curtains are closed and they're very dark, so they don't allow much light to come through. Other than that, the door is closed. Seems to be a bed, a couple of nightstands, a closet.
Is there still a smell of sulfur?
I'm sorry?
Is that stench still there?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand you.
Like, hello? Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
I hear you.
Is that stench, that smell, is it still there?
The smell? Nope, the smell's gone.
Is there ash all around?
The ash? Go ahead and roll spot hidden. Although it is too dark for you to be able to see that, though. You're gonna have to roll it like on hard. Yep. So, William, what do you want to do?
I'm confused. So we kind of go into this room, but it's not. And what happens after that? kind of fuzzy.
When you arrive into that room is completely pitch dark. And eventually, it went from completely pitch dark to a little bit gray dark. Like, you know, those, if you're like in a very dark room, but eventually a very fainted light is able to come in where you could see some stuff, but not like really well. It's still really dark. And you notice that the curtains
Yep.
are closed, so therefore there's not a lot of light. But if you open the curtains, you
Yep.
can probably see better.
All right. I'll open a curtain.
All right. So as you open the curtains, you notice that you can see outside. Now, the outside sky looks a little red because it is red. Um, to your surprise, there don't seem to be people outside. Cars have been crashed for a long time. Most houses and properties have been completely destroyed. And and that's pretty much the look outside.
Okay, so the outside. I mean, are the cars like rusted out and like
Yep.
they've been there for a long time? Hello.
Yes, I said yes.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yep.
So, okay, so inside this room, am I alone?
No, you're with Alex.
Where's the cop?
Cup is gone. You guys, last time I saw him, when you were traveling through that dimensional warping thing, the cop seemed to be sent somewhere else.
Okay, so is the door we came in there anymore, or is it
Yep,
gone?
it is.
Right. So, is Alice within arm's reach?
Yeah, why not?
So I kind of reach out to grab his shoulder. I'm like, let's get back towards the door. Let's get back to the door.
Yeah, let's.
All right.
There's still a nice little buzzing sound coming from the.
Go ahead and roll listen.
That was done.
Go ahead and roll listen, please, and thank you.
Just a second.
All right.
Okay, thinking not left.
You hear something outside the door. Some sort of movement. So open the door at your own free will.
Yes.
You cannot really
Are you gonna
stay
open the
there,
door?
so- Opening the door.
Okay, you open the door. When you open the door, there's a hole, and out of the hole starts popping out that dimensional shambler, and now you pretty much can see him. The dimensional shambler, besides of being a very nasty, ugly creature, um, has a spectral razor that uses that it's pretty much an invisible blade that you can see it cutting through reality, and and he's just finishing slashing a police officer with it. So,
Slam the door shut.
what's the plan?
Um, close the door for start.
So what?
I said for starters, we close the doors.
Okay. By the way, since you guys, whoever didn't see the dimensional shambler before, I need sanity. And at the very least, if you did see the dimensional shambler, I do need sanity after you look out the window. and you see that everything was a little different. All right. 1d2 for Red Wolf, 1d5 for Alex.
So that 4 plus 3 is pretty serious, I think.
It sure is. It sure is. Yes. That means, my friend, that you are having a bout of madness.
I lost 5 XP.
So go
I
ahead and
see
roll a
I
1d8.
melted.
3, and that means that violence. A red mist of rage descends on the afflicted investigator, and they explode in a spree of uncontrolled violence and destruction, directed at their surroundings, allies and foes alike. There are no foes around you. There is only a bed in front of you with furniture, and William is there. So, Alien, give me just a second. Let me see what your character is capable of tonight.
Punching hard, zapping people, slashing.
Okay, so you have a gun, you have a chainsaw, and the Tesla gun. All right. So go ahead and roll a 1d4, please, and thank you. 1. All right. So you're gonna go ahead and try to punch William. So go ahead and roll your brawling.
Ooh. I mean, it's not bad. Brawl is decent, if I remember correctly.
So William, go ahead and roll your dodge. All right. So Alex, go ahead and roll a 1d3. See how much damage you do to him for punching him.
Sorry.
3 damage. William, what do you want to do about this whole situation?
I am gonna run.
You're going to open the door and run?
Absolutely.
All right. So you open the door. The dimensional shambler is there, cutting in half the rest of the police officers. Are you going to still run?
I am absolutely running.
Okay, very well. As you're running, the dimensional shambler does see you. So your turn is that you are running. All right.
Yep.
Let's see what the dimensional shambler does to you.
Well, we're right next to the door, so I'm assuming I have enough movement to run out the door.
Right, but you're run. Well, no, you're not run. You're not next to the door, like the outside door. You're still upstairs.
Yeah, but I'm gonna run out the door and then turn the corner to head down the stairs.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's
so,
totally fine.
Okay.
It's totally
Okay.
fine. So, sorry. All right, so let's see. In just a second. That's not mine. What? Okay, 1. Perfect. Okay. All right, go ahead and roll your dodge. Oh, God. All right.
That's it. He's dead.
So, as you're running, you manage to open the door. When you open the door outside, you see these strange creatures walking, looking like squids, dressed up on suits and dresses, as if they're walking around living their lives normally. And you kind of stand still because just trying to catch your breath as to what you're looking at, coping with your sanity, and try to understand what is going on. And at that moment, the dimensional shambler just stabs you from behind, and you just die there. Alex, what about you? You are still in a bit of rage right now. So you saw him running out. So you're gonna run out. When you run out, you also see all the police officers dying. You see what happens to him by the shambler. So what? I guess go ahead and roll sanity again. Actually, not sanity. Roll. Let's see. Where is it? Psychology. What? Actually, we're just gonna play it off like you're just in rage. So you're just in rage, and you're just gonna attack the shambler, pretty much. So go ahead and take a shot
Well,
at the shambler.
that's my time.
Pick a gun. I don't care what gun you want to pick. You're gonna attack the shambler.
I don't think I'll survive.
Probably not.
I know I'm not gonna survive. I'm dead.
All right. So you did what? 6 damage. Nice. A nice 6 out of 50. All right. So let's see. The shambler looks at you, and we're gonna go ahead and figure out what is he gonna do. 2. Wow, this time may not necessarily be as bad. Alright, so the space continuum opens and cracks again, and it opens up, the house falls back down as of pages in a book, and you just get shoot up into the sky. And as you're traveling, everything just ends. You happen to get to the middle of the galaxy, the middle of everything, where you find Yog-Sothoth sleeping. Go ahead and roll your sanity again. Go ahead and roll a 1d. How much sanity do you have right now?
50.
50. Okay. Go ahead and roll 1d50. Because that's pretty much the all-time enemy. 17. As your madness strikes you, go ahead and roll 1 for yes and 2 for no to try to wake up Yog-Sothoth.
Well, the world is gone.
1, yes. So you start attacking Yog-Sothoth. Yog-Sothoth wakes up and suddenly opens his eyes, and everything disappears, including yourself, as the whole universe has been completely obliterated due to the fact that ultimately we are all just a figment of Yog-Sothoth's dreams. And that, gentlemen, concludes the end of this campaign.